you know me, I usually give you too much information too fast. So I apologize if that happens, but I'm going to have to because we want to see on time. The Muskegon Lake Public Advisory Council is now called the Muskegon Lake Watershed Partnership. And we advise the agencies on the cleanup plans, and we have a host of what we call our beneficial use impairments. The 9 of them are listed over on the left side there. And this is a map of our area of concern, Muskegon Lake. Bear Lake is part of it too. We have a 52 square mile watershed around the area of concern that we deal with primarily, and then we partner with Muskegon River Watershed Assembly, so we're also looking on the entire river watershed in partnership with that group. We have set targets, so we know when we are done working on the beneficial use impairments for the first 5 impairments listed there. Those have been accepted by the Department of Environmental Quality and EPA, so we know that we are going to be done cleaning up some of our problems to the point where it's no longer an area of concern. Doesn't mean we're not going to continue as a watershed group and have stewardship and natural resource improvements ongoing forever. But we are interested in doing the cleanup that we need to do to remove Muskegon Lake from this list of areas of concern too. We are working on our targets for the remaining impairments. And a little bit of background. We did form our Public Advisory Council when the White Lake Public Advisory Council formed, and we made sure that we have a multi-stakeholder partnership so the whole community is reflected in the decisions that are made and the advice that we give. One of the first things we had to do in 1994 when we updated our 1987 remedial action plan were to fill in some data gaps on some of the science. We didn't know if we still had contaminated sediment hotspots. Maybe it washed away and was out in Lake Michigan. You know, we had to deal with all of this information that was old at that time. So Grand Valley State University Water Resources Institute did a new study for us in '95 that reconfirmed, yes, we still do have contaminated sediment hotspots. Yes, we still do have some stormwater quality problems coming into Muskegon Lake. We also did a wildlife habitat assessment and an assessment of the aquatic plants in the lake so that we could better get a handle on what kind of fish and wildlife habitat issues we have. And those projects were also funded by the Michigan Department of Natural Resources through the Area Concern Program at that time when they had more money. Anyway, that's improved. Now, here's our communication network. We have categories for membership on our watershed partnership. Business and industry is one of them, and I just threw up a few of the organizations that are current in these categories, and I may have missed a few, so I apologize if you're not listed, but just wanted to give you an example that the way we communicate our needs and our progress is through our members. So within the business and industry category, for example, Consumers Energy, it's actually a person from Consumers that is our vice chair on our council, and we meet every month. We meet in the daytime, and then we meet in the evening, and we alternate. And that way we get the most involvement from the most members of the community that we possibly can, and that's really good, effective communication and networking. Conservation and environment. We have the Michigan Anglers. We have the Muskegon County Nature Club. I know there's someone here from the Nature Club. They're very involved in the Great Lakes Marsh monitoring program, so that we can start monitoring and seeing if some of our habitat restoration work is effective. The Conservation District is working very hard on a 319 watershed management plan for Bear Lake, which is really important because Bear Lake doesn't meet water quality standards. We can't take Muskegon Lake off that list until Bear Lake comes into water quality standards for nutrients. So anyway, each of the groups under each of these categories is doing something towards the area of concern because maybe it's within their mission, but they come to the meetings, they're very active, and they communicate back to their constituency or their associates. And so we rely very heavily on that membership and the fact that we meet every month and we talk to each other. And we have very strategic agendas. That's worked out pretty well for us. So early on, we reconfirmed that we had some priority settlement sites. We went out to the community and we said which ones are more important to you. So we went to the city of Muskegon. We went to a broader group of folks in Muskegon County called Muskegon County Urban Coordinating Council. We hosted some public public meetings, they said, well, we think Runaman Creek should be cleaned up first because it's a residential neighborhood. Then they said, well, we should then look at Ryerson Creek over there because there's some new development going on along the shoreline downtown that could be complicated if we don't get this stuff cleaned up. And then right downtown, the heart of the downtown area, is an area called the Division Street Outfall. Both Ryerson and Division Street are being cleaned up, and most of the sites along Muskegon Lake are legacy sites or orphan sites. We don't have a potentially responsible party to go back and work with. Ryerson Creek we actually do, so that project is kind of on the back burner, so to speak. We've done some investigation, but we're going to start working closely with some partners that may be responsible for some of the contamination there and see if we can't still get that site cleaned up too. Another way we communicate science, and you'll hear more about this with one of our speakers later though, is we always have the authors of our studies come to our meetings and present the findings so that we can ask questions, say, well, what does this study mean? So we don't just have a big study with technical information to read through. And also then the way we release that information to the public is usually very coordinated. I remember back in 1995 when the watershed study was completed, that's reconfirmed that we do have sediment issues, contaminated sediments. The reporter Jeff Alexander from the Chronicle said, well, why don't you wait and release this in in the spring? So it actually got released in '96 because he said, the people will be more interested in it then, and it'll be springtime, people will want to do something about it. We thought, yeah, why should we release this thing in January? But, people are thinking about, Christmas or winter or holidays or something. So we waited, and that worked out very well for us. And we were able to get a lot of involvement from the local neighborhood association. They actually formed their own task force, so kind of a mini sub-watershed environmental group formed out of the neighborhood association around Runaman Creek. We did newsletters. We did a big conference on contaminated sediments to educate the community about how you can clean up sediments, how it may or may not affect your health, that the technology does exist to do this safely, and a lot of other topics. So we wanted to build broad support for the cleanups by educating the community, and we had speakers from EPA, Water Resources Institute, DEQ, Army Corps of Engineers. We just brought everybody together, and that was how we actually attracted the attention of the Army Corps of Engineers, and they did some of the initial studies on Muskegon Lake to gather more information about our sediments, and that led to our Legacy Act and our Michigan Initiative cleanup of Runaman Creek. All the while, this is over a period of many years. We started doing this. We just got the cleanup of Runaman Creek done in 2006. So we started in 1995 with information and meetings. We started having meetings not only with our Muskegon Lake group, but also simultaneously every month with the Runaman Creek group now. So now we're getting ourselves all stretched within. But it was an effective way to do it because the local community needed to know what to expect with the cleanup. There's going to be noise, there's going to be dust, the odors going to be harmful. And